Y'all, this is Thomas. I wanted to bring some awareness and some financial research to the uranium sector. This is a uranium ETF. The ticker is URA, and we're just gonna get into some of their holdings. We can take a scroll down their website. Global X ETFs has a good amount of ETFs to look at and to consider. So if you're into ETF investing, definitely give them a look. Um, I do like their interface. Uh, Very easy to navigate, simple to understand. Here's that. So we can keep taking a look down here. Their market price is a little bit above their NAV price, and it really hasn't taken a big leap with the rest of the sector. So that's something to look at and look into, and we'll see if we can get some information about that. They do have some information here. Obviously, it's price alert. Uh, Let me know if y'all want me to get into some more crypto stuff as well. You can post that in the comment section down below. You know where it is. So they do have some interesting returns. Uranium has been down in the dumps for so long, so it's understandable that they didn't make the best returns early on. But let's take a look right here because these are their top holdings. So number one, making up just under 0.25% of the ETF, is Cameco. So that's a real stable company. Not too much volatility there, but it does give the the liquidity that some of the juniors and the medium and the micro stocks do not have. So that's definitely something of note. Coming in, and chemicals coming out of Canada as well. I'm gonna break some more of that chemical company and their outlook and their information down for y'all coming up soon too. So this is that's good to know that they have a large percentage in chemical, because that, like I said, that's going to give them some stability in the price. Second is this Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, which is just doing amazing things. If you haven't been able to invest in Sprott Physical Uranium due to your broker, number one, get a better broker. Number two, this could be a way to get a little bit in there into your portfolio through this ETF. This next gen is a really awesome is a project as well. Has been around for some time. Definitely some major gains there. So you can get Chemico and Next Gen are more available for retail investors to find. This next one coming up on the list. So this Kazanaprom, that is a major player in the uranium sector, and with the geopolitical tensions heating up, I highly recommend, if you're investing in uranium, or you just generally like having electricity, pay attention to this company here, this Kazanaprom company, and what happens with the sanctions and their allegiances to Russia and to China, because Kazanaprom does produce the largest amount of uranium in the world, and they're global traders. So the supply chain issues definitely have an impact on this. So make sure that you're keeping your eyes on this Kazanaprom, and it's not an easy to invest in Kazanaprom because they're generally state owned. About 85% is state owned. So that's something to a way to get into investing in Kazanaprom is through could be through this ETF if you choose to do so. This energy fuels is definitely interesting and on the move. Um, I've acquired a little bit of that. I'm really a big fan of the management team of this next ticker here, this Denison, and like I said, I'm looking at the percentage here that they have with Denison, which is pretty good. This is also a way when I'm looking to pick particular stocks, I like to go into the ETFs that those stocks are held in and check out those percentages, because as institutional investors and maybe just somebody who doesn't want to search through or doesn't know how to search through, they're just going to put their money in the ETF. So that's definitely something to look into, because as the money flows into the sector and generally lands in ETFs, if your stock picks are in the ETFs, they could give you a leverage play a little bit more. So I'm a big fan of this the Denison mine. I definitely acquired some of those, and I loved how Denison went out and purchased. They're an exploration company, but they purchased physical uranium at spot price when it was dirt cheap. So that tells me that they're believers in uranium and that they actually wanted to have some physical assets that they could later on take to market in a situation, something like is happening right now, black swan event, or just overall the bullish trend that the uranium market is in, that they could sustain themselves a little bit longer and not have to dilute the share. So I thought that was a great move by the board and their management team as well. The Paladin is great. It's also a company that's a little harder to come by to invest in. So this could be your Paladin exposure. I find it to be useful to diversify a little bit into the ETFs and also into the stock picking itself. This is a major player. I just covered this UEC, this Uranium Energy Core. If you didn't check out that one on the previous video, go check that out. I went into a little bit deeper detail. I gotta revisit them, because this sector is just primed up, and it can end up going nuclear any minute. So definitely a lot of news happening. A lot of tailwinds for a long-term investor, and also some definitely some swing trading possibilities as well. Day traders, I'm interested in how what the day traders did with that scare in the market with the Chernobyl incident that hit the news, and how the sector reacted to the negative press. Yellow cake is a good one. It gives you that's giving you that exposure to straight uranium. So this is where we start to kind of diverge from uranium itself and getting into a couple other companies that are not necessarily like Mitsubishi here and Rio Tinto. I can't remember if I'm pretty sure Rio Tinto sold their exposure to uranium as well. But so these are some manufacturing and some financial. Samsung down here. So interested about this. So that they definitely added a couple companies into this ETF here that's not directly affected by the uranium sector. So this is not the purest uranium ETF. I'll be covering the another ETF. It's priced a little higher, but definitely has more miners in there, as the name suggests. So we'll look into that one as well. This is a hidden gem right here. I'm not sure a lot of people are familiar with this company right here. Ticker symbol LEU. They're creating like smaller reactors for rural areas, and have some really financial big timers, big wigs in there. Bill Gates is invested heavily into LEU. That's actually how I found it a couple years ago. So check that out if you're interested in that. There's been some major run-ups. Since then, it had some corrections. So it definitely has the room to run. And more importantly, the practical use that people in the commodity section, investing world really like to grab onto the narrative about actually real world assets and having tangible companies that do things and affect the real world. And uranium has a major effect on the real world. If you're unfamiliar with that, this website also has great information on the bullish case of uranium, whether it's just for keeping the lights on consistently, which uranium does really well, and also the dual mandate, if you will, of keeping the lights on, producing power consistently, and also clean energy, which uranium is producing 10% of the world's power, but 1/3 of the world's clean energy. So you can see the disparity in the production of energy, and how it's really a big player in the clean energy. So if we want clean energy, let's start thinking nuclear. And both sides of the aisles are pretty much getting around to figuring that out, and kind of lining up with that. So this URG, this Ur Energy, has it's at a cheaper price. So it's a little bit easier for small time investors to kind of load up on that one and kind of ride the wave a little bit more speculative. Doesn't have the best marketing behind it, but definitely it has uranium in the name, and so it's gonna rise with the tide. This uranium royalty company here, this is a really interesting way to play the uranium, because it's a, and full disclosure, I do have some of this URA, and I also made a video on it as well. And so these are not financial advice. I'm just bringing you some awareness to a sector that's kind of been out of favor for so long. And I don't think the only time it makes the mainstream news is when something negative could happen, or possibly happen, or has happened. So it's definitely undercovered. And as a contrarian, that's what you want to do. You want to find where the smart money is heading, and try to beat them there, and position yourself well ahead of time. It's definitely not too late. It's still early innings in the uranium sector, but I would try to average my way in now, so that you're not buying at peak euphoria and then have to hold for the correction. So there's definitely some really good stuff. The uranium royalty, it gives you a nice play on uranium assets without directly owning
the uranium itself, or those companies. So it has exposure to uranium, and it's just a great catalyst. The uranium, or well, the uranium royalty, but just the royalty and streaming uh, is just a really good business model, because it allows you to do some of that angel investing through a stock pick itself, rather than raising the capital, or having the or needing to be accredited. So that's some of the interesting holdings, and we're looking at the price and the of this URA ETF, and also some of their breakdowns, their percentages. So yeah, definitely come check them out if you're interested in the uranium sector. This could be a way to diversify and get in, and as you're getting your feet wet and doing some research, and picking out some of these hitters, some of these tickers that are going to print some cash for you. So hopefully, best of luck to everybody. Do your own due diligence and pay attention, and don't get caught sleeping at the wheel. See you later. Like and subscribe.